It is 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is a little bit of a shorter webinar, so we don't want to waste our time or waste your time. So just to give you a quick overview here, this is just a homeschooling Canvas webinar we came up with to hopefully answer some questions that we've noticed have been coming up a lot during the start of the school year and just give you some information that'll hopefully empower you to feel more confident on this new platform as we go through the school year. So just some things to keep in mind as we go through this webinar. Please keep yourself on mute. That'll give us time to talk about these topics. The meeting is going to be recorded. For this reason, you may choose to not use your camera, which is just fine. We do like to see the faces of our parents and students, but if you don't want to use it because of the recording, that is just fine as well. Depending on how much time we have, we might have a little time at the end to answer a few questions, but our primary purpose here today is just going to be to walk through some things visually to give you all a chance to kind of see Canvas and hopefully cover some of the topics that we've seen come up a lot so far from parents. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce the team really quick. You've probably heard from at least someone on the team at this point, but just in case you need to put a face to a name, we have Mrs. Haley Long, who is our pre-K through second grade homeschool coordinator. We've also got Mrs. Chandra Berghar, who is our third through eighth grade homeschool coordinator. Not here today, but definitely present on our team. We've got Miss Anna Zelyak, who is our counseling assistant. You might see messages from her sometimes. Same with Miss Lana Fanina, who is a teacher assistant. She helps with grading. You might sometimes see messages from her as well. And then myself, I am Miss Hillary Benedict. I'm the head of school counseling and guidance. And with that, I am going to pass it off to a tour of Canvas.
I'm going to share my screen and give you a tour of a course in Canvas. I'm going to grab onto AOP 5th grade math. So you click on the course, takes you here, gives you the title. You're in the home screen. And here you will see where you will find announcements. A lot of times, if there is something that we need to notify you about, like the page numbers are wrong for an assignment, we will make that notification or announcement in the actual course. The next spot where you will spend most of your time is in the modules section. So when you click on that tab, there's a getting started section where we've provided a course overview, a suggested daily schedule, grading guidelines, which we will look at in a few minutes, a little more in depth. Those are your s'mores. The curriculum maps, which is basically your map to get you through the course, and we'll go back there in a second. And then attendance and progress reports, just a little bit of information about how those work. If I continue to scroll down, there is a quarter breakdown in each course that will tell you what items need to be submitted in each quarter. So here's quarter 1. I can see that there are 6 assignments due in quarter 1. In quarter 2, there's that many as well. And I can go through and kind of see where I'm going to end up in all of the quarters. I can go into, I'm going to take you into an assignment. I'm going to go into a lesson. This one's on Roman numerals. Once I'm in this lesson, I can find that it says the activity I tells you how to upload. But what I wanted to point out is there is a link to the grading guidelines right here that gives you more detailed information about where to find the assignment. It will give you the page numbers. It will also tell you how many points the assignment is worth. And if there's, like, for instance, in social studies, or sometimes, a lot of times in English, there's rubrics that need to be submitted with an assignment, and those will be linked here as well. So if I go back to my subject, and I'm going to go back to modules, I wanted to share with you the grading guidelines that I just told you were linked in the assignment. The grading guidelines appear like this. They contain the curriculum map. It will give you the tests, all your lessons that are down there. We've completed them for at least quarter 1 in every subject. this right here, it says test 1 and then it says Q1 week 2. That's your due date. We moved from specific due dates like submitting this test on September 21st to weeks because our due dates here are a little more fluid than they are in the online program. And you don't get docked for submitting something late. So we kind of kept them a little more fluid, keep things a little bit easier. So if I go back to the subject again, and I go back into modules, the curriculum maps are found here. It tells you how to use the curriculum maps. Enlightium has adopted the 4-day school model, which is the whole child approach. You can pick what 4 days you choose to go to school, and the curriculum maps are designed to help you modify lessons, skip lessons, or combine them so you can maintain that 4-day school week and have the 5th day of school be an enrichment day where you get to do family activities, or a lot of people save them for PE or things like that. So if I click on the Q1 curriculum map, here you can see it says for math in 5th grade, you're going to do lessons 1 through 5, and then it tells you which ones to skip or combine. And if I continue to scroll down, you can see that the first assignment is due in week 2, and it tells you to skip lesson 6. So these have been created for every course, and they're actually printable. So they're a great thing for you to post on a bulletin board or something like that. And you can cross off where I've done this week, so you know where you are. And that's kind of just a super quick tour of a course in Canvas. How do I quit sharing my
Thank you.
screen?
I'll share my screen.
There we go. There.
There we go.
Okay, so in our first 2 weeks of school, we've been getting some frequently asked questions. One of the questions we've been getting a lot is about the due dates. I know that if you logged on to Canvas the first week, you saw a bunch of due dates there, specific due dates, and now they're gone. And that's confused everybody. But in reality, we never meant to assign specific hard due dates for each assignment. And also those due dates that were there the first week were not correct. And so it was not a good system. Progress is still going to be tracked on a monthly basis, just like it was last year. So each month, you're going to get a progress report at the beginning of the month for the previous month. But your first one will not be until early October, and this will reflect what was submitted by the end of September. And just for reference, the last week of September is officially week 6. So if you look on your curriculum maps and make sure that you submit everything that's due up to week 6 by that last day of September, then your progress report will show that you're on time with everything. The curriculum maps show which assignments are due each week, just like Chandra pointed out a few minutes ago. And you can also find that information though just by looking under modules, like Chandra just went through as well. It'll list the name of the assignment and then which week it's due. We do recommend that you check into Canvas once a week and that you submit all your work for that week on a specific day of the week so you don't forget and you don't fall behind. We recommend Friday. All right, let's talk about the monthly progress emails. And for those of you who were here last year, it's going to work the same way. So there's 3 different settings or statuses you might get in your email. One will be just telling you that your student is on track. And if your student is on track, you'll get that status as long as you're not more than 3.9 weeks behind. So you could still be 2 or 3 weeks behind, but still get you the progress report saying that your student's on track. The weeks ahead or behind, so it'll say on there specifically how far ahead or how far behind your student is in weeks. And so if your student is more than 4 weeks behind, if they're behind 4 to almost 6 weeks behind, so 5.9 weeks behind, they will get the at-risk status. And what this means is that your student is at risk and you need to submit more work into Canvas, and you might need to double up on a few lessons a few times a week to make sure the student is on track. And if you need help figuring that out, just reach out to me or Chandra and we can help you come up with a plan to get your student caught up. The other status you might get on your progress email is the withdrawal warning, and this is only for those students who are more than 6 weeks behind. So for the progress report you get in October, that would mean that you basically haven't submitted any work at all, because at that point we'll be at 6 weeks into the school year. And so our policy is that once you get that withdrawal warning, you have 1 week to upload your student's work in Canvas, or 1 week to reach out to your counselor, which is me or Chandra, for help. You know, maybe your family has been going through a rough time and you need an extension. Just let us know and we're here to help. If no work is submitted within that week, the principal's office will be notified and your child might be withdrawn from Enlightium for truancy. And remember, all of this is based on what was submitted the very last day of the previous month. All right, another question we've been getting a lot is how to submit work on Canvas. It is a little different from Ignitia, but basically the basic principles are still the same. So let's go over it in detail. So first, we recommend that you read the lesson directions and make sure you're submitting the correct lesson or test. If you were here last year, you may have noticed already that some of the things we asked for might be a little different than what you were used to last year. We might be asking more projects and things like that than just workbook pages this year. But all of these details are in the grading guidelines s'mores. It might be a good idea to go ahead and print those grading guidelines s'mores out and just have them handy. So next, after you make sure you have the correct lesson or test to upload, get all the pages together. Canvas will accept files, photos, and videos, so you have a choice. You can upload more than 1 picture or video. Canvas does not have a limit on how many times you push that upload button. So if you have an assignment that's several pages, if you have an assignment that's several pages long, be sure that you are uploading a picture of each page. Be sure the lesson title and the page numbers are visible to us. Also, make sure you provide a % grade on top of the assignment or rubric so that we can see it. Or you can alternatively, you could also write it in the comment section when you submit. We just need to be able to see the grade somewhere. Finally, make sure to check your messages in Canvas. Sometimes if we're looking over what you uploaded and there's a problem with it, we will message you with how to fix it. And so the assignment will remain not graded. It'll still say 0 until it's fixed. All right, why work in Canvas might be reassigned. Here's some reasons why we send stuff back or message you to fix something. First, if there's no student work attached, if you just write a grade but don't actually provide a picture of the work, then we need that as well. For a lot of assignments, there's a rubric that we want you to use, and we need to see that as well. So for projects that have a rubric and a workbook page or a writing page, you're going to submit all of those things. Sometimes you accidentally submit the wrong lesson number or the wrong test, and we'll send it back in that case. Sometimes, like in this first picture over here, we can't see the whole page in your photo. So this does say chapter 1 test, but it cuts off after question 5. We need to see the whole page, including the very bottom with the page number. Sometimes we send something back because it's not clear what the grade was. Sometimes we send it back because there's a discrepancy between the uploaded paper and the score that you typed in the writer's box or in the comment section. So maybe, sometimes we get papers and there's a bunch of wrong answers and X's on it, but then the grade in the comment section will be 100. And so that's definitely a discrepancy that we want to ask you about. Sometimes when we briefly look over a paper, we can see several grading errors. If we see more than 1 or 2 grading errors, we will send it back to you. And we will send you a message if we're not able to grade your submission. So always look for a message when we reassign something. And then I do want to point out this bottom picture. Here's an example of it's a good picture and it does show the whole page, which is great. But if you look closely, you can see that we can't see the very first page of the assignment. We only see page 2 and page 3. We need to see all of the pages of the assignment. All right, and finally, another frequently asked question we're getting is about messages within Canvas. We can send you messages in Canvas. Sometimes we're going to make general homeschool announcements in your child's homeroom class. That might be things like newsletters for the month. Sometimes if there's something specific within a course or we need to make clarifications to an assignment, we'll send out messages within that course. We will send messages if there's an issue with something you submitted, just like I went over in the previous slide. And in that case, it'll, just as a reminder, it will remain ungraded until you respond. So if you need to message us about curriculum, assignments, Canvas, or general Enlightium questions, make sure that you're messaging either me or Chandra. I think some of you have been sending messages to our teaching assistants who help us grade, but a lot of times they don't know how to answer those kind of questions. The only time you should message a TA like Anna or Lana is if they've already messaged you about a specific assignment that they're unable to grade.
I'm going to share my screen again really quick so you can see the next slide in our presentation. Another frequently asked question that we've been getting is about the offline elective form. So if you have had an opportunity to open this up, one of the things that you have to do, you'll notice that it says view only. This is the original document. So you have to go to File and create your own copy, rename it. So it says like Mrs. Burkhart's offline PE elective form. And then you need to go over to share and make sure that anybody with the link can view it. Because you can, when you go to upload this, just upload the link for us to open it and view the tabs along the bottom. We don't necessarily have to have you print this out. But once you have created your own copy, renamed it, if you use these tabs down here, you'll go to the cover page, looks exactly like it did last year, where you fill it out with your information and the student information, what elective form you're filling out, like if it's offline fine arts or offline PE. You'll add any signatures in there that are required. And then when you go to month 1, that's where you're going to start entering your hours and your activity log. And what you will submit then is either the cover page, you'll print the cover page and the month, or you'll just share the link in the upload section of Canvas.
As always, we have the contact information for your various coordinator counselors on here. If you don't have this saved, save it into your email address book. It's going to be really crucial to have this email handy when you have to reach out for questions. As it was mentioned before, it's also great to use those Canvas messages, just make sure you're messaging the right person. That's an issue we've been coming across, is just, like we said, Anna and Lana are not going to necessarily have all the answers unless it's an answer to a question they've asked you. So definitely go to your coordinator and ask them that question. The other big thing just to keep in mind is that, like they said, the end of the month, try to be up to week 6. And if not, just make sure you're in contact with your coordinator and just keep them posted on what's going on. We do have a little bit of time here, a couple minutes. I didn't see any questions in chat sent to me. However, I know they can be sent to other people. So if you do have a question, now is a great time to chat it. Again, our hope was really just to kind of get you some visuals on Canvas so you can see what it looks like, kind of see what to be looking for, answer some questions that we've noticed have come up a lot this year. That'll hopefully solve some issues going forward. Like was mentioned before, just make sure to keep an eye on the homeroom. That really is going to be a big place for announcements. We were just talking today on the team, and there's some videos that are going to go up that are going to be like small parts of today's webinar, essentially, like, how do I find this? Where are the modules? What do I do this? Or how do I download my PE log? That kind of thing. Homeroom will have some of those questions answered for you. So, all right. So I see a question. Where will the grades for each subject be posted? It's a great question, ladies. What do we think about that one? Bear in mind, we are also still navigating Canvas on our end.
Let me look for a minute. See if I can find it. Okay.
In the meantime, while you look, I have an Advanced 360 question. Is Advanced 360 just for us to have the teacher edition of the material and have access to the videos?
Yes, and for many grades, there's also a lot of things you might want to use under parent resources. Sometimes there's visuals you can print out to help with the lesson. There's supplemental materials, extra activities, extension activities. So it's worth your time to go and look under the parent resources tab for each class.
Awesome.
Oh, there's also the answer keys. You can also find answer keys. That's important too.
Yes, that's crucial. We need those. How do we sign the cover page of the offline elective form if we're just sharing the link? That's the first question.
You can you e-sign it? I think it's your signature is something you would add to that after you have completed the whole thing. So like if you had a coach that you needed to have the signature from, you, the parent, can sign that. So I think that's a good question. I think you're going to have to print it and sign it and upload it, or type your name in and we'll handle it from there.
But it sounds like it's an end of the year situation. So
yeah,
we'll probably have
I think
more
you can do it
then.
at the end of the year when it's all your final submission. Yep.
Awesome. So that would be a great thing to keep an eye on the homeroom for more information as we go on through the year.
Okay, I did figure out where the grades are posted. So can I share my screen for a minute?
Do. Absolutely.
While Chandra is looking for that, I can answer the next question.
Go ahead, Haley.
So somebody asked, when I submit an assignment, it says only one type of submission will be accepted. Yes. That is a little glitch we've run into that we're trying to fix. But in the meantime, just write the percentage grade on the actual test or lesson paper at the top where we can see it, or you can also enter it in the comment section.
Perfect. Thank you. I also got a question. Will there be a main schedule with all the assignment due dates, or do we have to look under each assignment?
I would recommend printing out each grading guideline for each subject, or printing out each curriculum map, and so that way you can see it at a glance on actual paper, and you don't have to keep clicking on each individual class in Canvas.
Yeah, I think the curriculum maps are going to be your best bet if you want to know like what's coming up due when, week by week. That would probably be the best idea. Let's see. I did have a question that I missed earlier about if they needed to submit the log for offline electives for August. And the answer to that is you can combine August and September, just because we have kids starting, anywhere between the our first day in August and sometime in September. So just combine your August and September hours into one tab.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay.
It's just taking a little bit. It's not, there it is. It wasn't coming up in my thing. Okay, so where I'm at is in my course, BJU third grade reading, and I scrolled just past modules to grades. And it says, here's the lesson. And then it has the score out of 100. This is a demo account, so this hasn't been submitted yet, so there's not a grade here. So one of the things to keep in mind is if you have submitted this assignment and you've given us, I would say 3 to 5 days to get it graded, and there still is not a score here, I would go back and look for a message and see if something was wrong with the assignment. Because if we messaged you that maybe it didn't upload correctly, or you uploaded the wrong assignment, or you forgot to grade it, it will remain ungraded, and you will have to you'll have to fix it. So we will never ask you to fix. We will always message you if we need something to be fixed. We won't just leave it alone. You'll know. We will reach out.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
that. You're welcome.
2 more quick questions and then we are out of time. But one was, do we have to upload a sheet every month for offline electives? And essentially what you'll want to do is, like what Chandra was saying, you'll want to upload the link, because the link will have all of your sheets on it. So they should all just be on that one nice document. You could upload the link every month and then we can just check it out that way. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. And then the last question that we have time for was, I saw somewhere that it said, if you don't see the blue box, you are in the students portal. I am a facilitator and I didn't see the blue box. I'm not totally sure that I understand that question, but I'm hoping maybe one of the ladies here can.
I understand that one.
Perfect.
So the blue boxes that you're looking for are the ones with the links to the answer keys. They will also give you, I know like in math, it'll tell you grade these numbers of questions, like grade 1 through 9, they're worth 1 point, grade 11 through 15, they're worth 2 points. You have access to those blue boxes with the links to answer keys that are not on the student side. The other part is you have the parent resources tab from the facilitator login that has access to teacher books, links to quiz and assessment answer keys that are not in the student side. They do look different. So if you're not able to find answer keys, then you're in the wrong one.
Mm-hmm. But that question was about Advanced 360 though.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Not Canvas. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are doing AOP, then just disregard that whole part. Doesn't apply to you.
Thank you. And then I saw a note that the assignments under grades are not in sequence order. I'm seeing nodding, so that's true. At least for the time being, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So I see there's more questions coming in. Unfortunately, we do have to end here. Send those questions to your coordinators and they will be able to help you out. Again, their contact information was on the slide before. You've probably gotten tons of emails from them. So just reply to one of those emails and we'll get you squared away. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you and just giving us your time, and hope you have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Bye.
Bye.